Well, hello, everybody. It's Thursday night. I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. How are you? Now, you notice right away we're not sitting outside. You can probably hear some of that rain out there. We were just under a tornado watch for about 30 minutes, and it all cleared up about 20 minutes ago. It's still raining like heck, so you might still hear that out there. But how y'all doing? Yay, we're glad. We didn't think we were going to come to you tonight, but yay, we're so glad. And tonight, we're going to bring you up to date on some of our group cruises. I know some of y'all watching right now, you're on some of our group cruises, but, we've still got room on them. And we just found out, we haven't gone back and looked at the pricing in a while. And we realized that both our Alaska group and our Norwegian group are at significant savings right now. So if you haven't booked already, those people who already booked, they've gotten these great rates. But in the meantime, the prices have been going up on the Norwegian Aqua. They've been going up on the Oceania Riviera. And the Sun Princess is about to close. So I definitely want to talk about all of this tonight. Sherry, hey. Oh, so good to see you, Sherry. Thanks so much for tuning in. Greg, hello. Jen, Becky, Eric. Hey, man, how you doing? Going to have some information for you soon. Just bear with me. I'll get you some information that you asked for. Rick, good to see you, my friend. And Sue is here. We are 1 week from the Margaritaville Islander. Yes, the cruise line that I said we would never book. Rebecca and I are not only going on the Margaritaville Islander, we're going on back-to-back sailings. We're going to be on her for 6 nights.
I don't know if it qualifies as back-to-back.
We've been invited by Margaritaville to come on. We actually have a huge group going out on the Valiant Lady, June 12th through the 16th. Unfortunately, we're not able to go on that cruise, and our friend at Margaritaville heard and said, hey, we're doing a preview sailing. Would you like to come June 11th through the 13th? So we're doing that. And then we decided to stay on and go on the inaugural as well. And this is really exciting. June 13th, I'm going to be hanging out with La Nida Loca Tony, because Tony lives over in the Tampa area. So we're going to get together for breakfast with Miss Jenny. I have not met Miss Jenny yet. So excited about that. So that's all coming soon. So we're going to be talking about group cruises. Becky, I hope you will line up with a group cruise. Becky, maybe you should put together a group cruise. What's the matter?
You look a little out of focus.
No, Rebecca. So what Rebecca is doing, this is actually really fun. We've got the TV on over there, and I'm 8 seconds behind on that screen, and Rebecca's getting confused because I'm so far behind.
No, I said you look out of focus.
Oh, I look out of focus. Yes, I probably do because the camera is not focusing on me. How about this? Let's see if I can get it to focus on me. No. Oh, you know what? It went out of focus.
It's focusing on the pictures behind you.
Why don't you come over here and just, I think it went into manual focus. I think it's what it did. Oh, actually, I think it came back in. It fixed it. There. I think I'm back. Am I in focus? I don't know. Maybe I do better work when I'm blurry. I don't know. It just
works for me.
Huh?
Works for me.
Yeah, it works for you. I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, I guess I am a little bit out of focus, aren't I? I don't know what.
But the lovely pictures behind you are
I know.
Really
it's focused
crisp.
on that, but maybe I don't know if I can change it at all. No, it is in autofocus mode, so I don't know what it's doing. Hey, camera over here. Okay, so let's talk about group cruises. If I'm in focus, I'm in focus. If I'm not in focus, I'm not in focus. But what are you going to do? I look better blurry. Betty, how are you? Good to see you. But yes, Becky, maybe you should just come up with a group cruise, and then maybe we'll come sail along with you. You never know. I think it'll be great. Rick, that's how you heard about us doing a video with Tony. That is so awesome. I love it. But yeah, so we're just I don't know if we're gonna do any video. We're certainly gonna hang out. We're gonna have some breakfast. I've never met Miss Jenny. Miss Jenny is a travel agent too. And I'm really curious to talk to her because she's been doing it a lot longer than I have. I don't know why it is focusing on the wall. See, now Rebecca's got me concerned about the focus. But let's just talk about group cruises, okay?
I think you should just enjoy the blur.
I think you should just enjoy the blur. I know it doesn't look like I'm that blurry. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's kind of like the TV.
Here, Rebecca, come here. Come on over here.
No, it's kind of like the TV.
Rebecca, push the little the focus button on the front. That's all. I'm gonna make Rebecca work. Okay, guys. Really... She's never here. Like on the front, just on the front. Push the little shutter button. Okay. She's not gonna do it. I'm gonna try pushing it down up here myself. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Yay! I don't know. Okay, let's just talk about group cruises. Now we're getting all hung up on the focus here because See, Rebecca shouldn't be watching the big TV. Hey, by the way, if you did not see the last time, we now have our little coffee mugs in there. My favorite ship is the one I'm on. And of course, you can get the shirts and all the other stuff as well. So group cruises, let's talk about Oceania, because what's really interesting about Oceania, so we're going to Alaska. Going to Alaska June 26th through July 8th, 2025. And what we noticed when we took a look at the pricing just recently, we have 3 categories of cabins. I've got 2 balcony cabins, and I've got a concierge class cabin. I can't say on air exactly how much they are reduced from the original pricing, because we locked in these prices 6 or 7 months ago, and prices steadily increased.
It was like the end of like October, November of 23.
Yeah. So we've had these prices locked down for quite some time. And on top of our price lock, we also have 2 bonus amenities that are worth about $1,200. Now, Oceania itself, if you look at Oceania, so Oceania has the Simply More program. So they have 2-for-1 cruise fare, free round trip airfare with free airport transfer. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, we're ignoring that for this group cruise, because for a domestic flight, they're giving a $1,400 allowance. In general, wherever you are in the U.S.,
For the cabin.
Yeah, for the cabin.
2 people.
So a $1,400 allowance for your round trip flights. In general, we can get you round trip to Seattle for less than $1,400.
The shore excursion thing is incorrect on your graphic.
Yeah, so the shore excursions, I have that wrong. That's $600. I haven't updated this graphic. But basically, you're going to get free shore excursion credit up to $600. You're going to get free champagne, wine, and beer with lunch and dinner. You're going to get free gourmet specialty dining. You're also going to get free specialty coffee and soft drinks. That's included in Simply More, and then that free unlimited Wi-Fi. That's all part of their standard package. Everybody gets that. But then with the group amenities, not only are our prices really low, like if you were to guess around 1,000-ish below what the public prices are, you would be pretty close. You're also going to get the prepaid gratuities, and then you're going to get the Prestige Select Drink Package upgrade. So what that means is, with the Simply More, you get beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner. But with the Prestige, you can get a drink anytime you want. That's the big difference. Plus, the gratuities are in there. So you're paying less money, and you're getting another $1,200 of value by booking our group cruise. So, hey, Michael, how are you? Good to see you. So if you are interested in going to Alaska, now we always talk about, and we do talk about it a lot on our show. We talk about Princess, we talk about Holland America. Because
still good choices.
Yeah, they're still excellent choices, especially if you want to do land sea tours. But this is a very unique itinerary. We chose this ship, 1, because there's only 1,200 people on it. And number 2, because it is 12 nights, it is hitting everything and more of what we're used to. So basically, we're going to start out in Seattle, and then we're going to cruise the Inside Passage. Then we'll be doing Ketchikan. And if you notice, we're in Ketchikan from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's 13 hours. We're going to be in Wrangell, Alaska from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nice long stop. Juneau, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. That is a long stop. And this is right around the solstice. So it's not going to be like daylight all the time, but it is going to be bright quite late. So you're going to have 13 hours in Juneau, Alaska. I mean, how many other cruise lines give you 13 hours in Juneau, Alaska? Then we're going to go to Skagway, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Oh, my goodness. I think that is our longest stop on the entire cruise. Just what's really cool about this, not only are they long stop, but you have the opportunity to do 2 itineraries. Typically it's like do 1 itinerary, save some time to go walk around the town and do all of that.
Shore excursion.
Shore excursions. I'm so sorry. You could do 2 itineraries. We could book you on a back-to-back if you'd like, but you can do multiple shore excursions because these stops are so long that, we did that when we were in Skagway, and we kind of exhausted ourselves because we did the helicopter and we went straight to the White Pass Yukon Railway. And that was like, I don't know, 7 hours of 2 excursions, and it was kind of exhausting. Well, here in Juneau, we're there for 13 hours. So we could do an excursion in the morning, come back to the ship or come back to town, have a nice lunch, go back and do another excursion because we're there till 11 o'clock in the evening. I mean, we could go out and do a sunset something or other. In Skagway, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Again, these are really long stops. Icy Strait Point, we're there for 12 hours. I wonder how many times I can zip line in 12 hours. I might have to find out. Then we're going to go cruise the Hubbard Glacier, which is going to be lovely. Then Sitka, Alaska, even there, 7 to 5 p.m. Klawak. Klawak is brand spanking new. That is the Huna tribe. It's either Huna or Hunan tribe. They are the ones who built Icy Strait Point. I think a lot of that was in collaboration with Norwegian. I think Klawak is also in collaboration with Norwegian. And Norwegian does own Oceania. Norwegian owns Regent Seven Seas. So we will be going to Klawak. Klawak, I believe, opens this year. So this is only going to be the second year that that's open. It's a very natural place. And then here's the really cool thing. This is one of the things that I absolutely love about this itinerary. And I know it sounds weird, but look at Victoria on July 7th. We're there from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 12 hours. Now, for those of you who have taken Royal Caribbean, Princess, Holland America, and all the others that do that 7-day round trip from Seattle, it's usually 3 hours, like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. to midnight, and that's it, 3 or 4 hours. I mean, what are you going to do at that time? Everything's closed anyway. So what are you going to do? Basically, the ship is just doing a token stop because legally
go to a
they're
bar
required
and
to
have
stop.
a drink.
What'd you say?
You could go to a bar and have a drink.
There you go. You can go to a bar and have a drink. But here, 12 hours in Victoria, British Columbia. So Rebecca really wants to do afternoon tea. So we're going to have plenty of time to go and do afternoon tea. Maybe we can find that scary float plane thing that Stephanie did on her.
I want to do the gardens.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The
What's the name of the
Bouchard
Huh?
Bouchard Gardens.
There you go. What Rebecca said.
That and tea. That seems like enough for me.
Yeah. So this particular cruise, again, I can't give you the exact price, but if you were to guess, around 1,000-ish off what they're showing on the public site. We have 2 balcony categories. We have 1 concierge category. And these are categories until they pull the cabins away from us. We don't know how many cabins they're going to allow us to have. They let us keep booking the cabins until they take them away. So we have 3 categories currently on this particular cruise, right, Betty? It is an amazing itinerary, right? I mean, you don't see many itineraries like this in Alaska. Even when you've got these longer itineraries, like 10 and 12 nights, you don't see the amount of time that we spend in these ports. And then you look at, the amenities that you're going to get. I mean, this is, for lack of a better term, it's almost an all-inclusive cruise, right? Now, the shore excursion credit is $600 per person, $600 for the stateroom. It's not $800. I didn't update the graphic. But you got the free shore excursion. You got free champagne, wine, and beer. You got free gourmet specialty time. So all the restaurants are included. There are 2 dining experiences. One with the Wine Spectator and one that's called Privé, which is a private meal where the chef just prepares like 10 people. Those are 2 dining experiences that you do have to pay for, but everything else, all the other restaurants on the ship, totally included. And the buffet, at least on the Serena, when we were on the Serena, they were serving beer, wine, and they were serving lobster tail and shrimp and catch of the day and lamb chop and sirloin steak at the buffet every single night. Made to order. Yeah. And then at the pool, they were serving surf and turf every day. So, lobster and steak every day. It was amazing. And so not only are you going to pay, like I said, if you were to guess, about 1,000-ish underneath what the prices are, you would pay that. Plus, you're going to get the prepaid gratuities and the drinks package upgrade. Those are rare to get with the groups. Our representative Guillaume, who you've seen on this show a few times, he is an amazing representative. And he said, "Hey, well, this is your first group. I'm going to give you something special." He said, "We always give the gratuities when you got a group together." He said, "I'm going to give you the drinks package upgrade." That is an amazing upgrade. So again, we have 3 categories. I've got B3 and B2. Those are the categories of balcony. I think I had the A2 concierge. Now you can go to our website, where'swaltertravel.com. There are links. In fact, there's a link in the description directly to all 3 of our group cruises that we're going to talk about tonight. I will have a whole web page all set up. You can see everything about this particular cruise. You can see the menus on the ship. You see the itinerary. I think I might even have a link to shore excursion, or not shore, Venture Ashore in there. We're talking to them about potentially doing something special. We certainly would like to go see Harv and Marv again up in Juneau. We might put together a group excursion up there to go do that. But this is going to be June 26th through July 8th. So we're going to spend the 4th of July in Alaska. How cool is that? Where are we going to be for the 4th of July? Let's see. We're going to be Sitka, Alaska for the 4th of July. That should be a lot of fun. Now, I know there are 2 tender ports in here, and I want to say they might be Sitka and Klawak.
Well, definitely Klawak.
Yeah, Klawak definitely does not have a pier. I think Sitka might be the other one. I'm pretty sure there are 2
It's
tenders.
either Sitka or Wrangell, one of those 2.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this, in fact, we just booked somebody today, booked somebody else today on this. And, Guillaume did warn me. He said, we do pull the cabin sooner than some of the other cruise lines. So I don't know how long I'm going to have this pricing, but I still have the pricing right now because we did set up that group a while ago. It depends. What he was saying that, as we get further and further into the Alaska season, people start thinking about next year, and then the ships start filling up. This is going to be the first season for the Oceana Riviera. This is a 1,200 passenger ship. They have been sending up, I don't know which ship, maybe the Regatta, which is a 650 passenger ship. So this is going to be a much larger ship. It has more restaurants. It has more features on it. So we are really, really excited. We're planning to go, maybe 3 days early, spend some time in Seattle. I got to go check out the original Starbucks, even though I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. And then they have a Starbucks Reserve there. Now, that I do like. If you've never seen a Starbucks Reserve, I saw one in New York City. That's amazingly cool. Hey, I noticed it got quiet. I think the rain has moved through. Nope, rain's still here? Okay. So we're going to go up to Seattle 3 days early, probably, and spend some time up there. But this is the first of the 3 group cruises. If you guys got questions, by the way, just feel free to jump in, whether it's questions about these cruises or you've got questions about anything to do with cruising. Just feel free to jump in. It's just us, and Rebecca's hanging out on the sofa. I'm hanging out over here with my pictures. You remember I used to have my pictures behind me all the time, and I got a few of them. A few of them back there hanging out. By the way, that is the Torture Museum in Cartagena. So if you go to Cartagena, go to the Torture. That's not the official name of it, but
it's it's the Museum of the Inquisition.
Yeah, the Museum of the Inquisition.
I believe.
Whoever came up with some of this stuff.
Inquisition is the name in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
And right above that's the horse from the ice horse from Alaska. Okay. The last time we were there.
Okay. All right. I don't remember that, but all right.
The horse made of ice.
Oh, you're talking about the picture.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, you really can't see it. Right there. Yeah, that's actually from Alaska.
You can see it, but you can't tell what it is.
Yeah, that's from Alaska right there. I was like, what? Yeah, so we literally thought we weren't going to be on tonight. So I'm so glad we were actually able to pop on. Now, the next cruise I'm going to talk about is the Norwegian Aqua. This one, we do have a finite. We have 5 actual physical cabins left. It's either 2 balconies and 3 interiors or 3 balconies and 2 interiors left. That's it. And if you were to guess, again, I can't tell you what the prices are, but if you were to guess in the 1,000-ish range off, maybe more for the balconies have really come up in price since we locked it in. Anybody who's booked this group already has got that rate. But right now, if you were to go on to Norwegian's site, you would be paying so much more just for a base cabin than you would to get our cabin with the free at sea package. And what's really cool about booking with the group is, Norwegian has a free at sea package. It's 4 items. It's usually drinks, dining, Wi-Fi, and shore excursion. But because you're in a group, they actually we can go in and alter that. We can do anything we want just about and change that around to be any number of things. You can get some extra onboard credit. You can get a photo package. You can get a no beverage package at all. Just get a dining package. So there's like so many things that you can do. Yes, Eric, absolutely. Keep your balcony because that balcony that you purchased. I can't remember when we booked you, but our prices have remained the same because we locked them in. But I was shocked when I went back and looked at Norwegian. I'm like, holy cow, I think our balconies are over, I can't say, but if you were to guess over 1,000 for the balcony, I think that's somewhere in the range off where our balconies are right now. And so if you book this cruise and you go ahead and get the free SC package, we're throwing in $100 of onboard credit for you. And this is the brand new Prima class ship. Now, what's really cool about this ship, there's a couple of things to really know about this particular ship. Now, the Prima and the Viva came out back to back. The Viva was like already halfway built when the Prima, in fact, it may have been more like 3/4 of the way constructed by the time the Prima launched. Prima launch, it had some negative feedback. The venues are small, maybe too much retail space, maybe too much just open space that could have been used for other things. Well, they couldn't really address that. The Viva basically is the exact same ship. They're sister clones. Now, the Aqua, that was just barely, they may have cut some steel for it. So the Aqua is the third ship. It's always the third ship where they have a chance to make some changes based on customer feedback. So number one, you see the go-kart track is gone. The go-kart track never really made sense on this particular class of ship. Now, they were supposed to be adults only. The Prima was supposed to be adults only. It was going to be like an all-haven experience to compete with Virgin Voyages. And then the pandemic hit, and they kind of changed their mind. Now, I don't know if the go-kart was always a part of that design, but, they put the go-karts on there, and they put them on the Viva. It's kind of weird because you have this really nice pool, and the go-karts go right above the pool, so they're creating a lot of noise. This definitely fits a little bit more, I think. And of course, it's called the Aqua, so of course we've got the slide coaster on there. Yes, Eric, they're calling it the Prima Plus class because they've had I don't know where it gets larger. It is slightly larger. I don't know if they added another deck or what they did with it, but definitely they've added the Aqua slide coaster, which is basically the Aqua Mouse on steroids. It's a much faster, much larger Aqua Mouse, and what's really cool about it, you can kind of see it in the picture. The two tracks are not exactly the same. One has more of a corkscrew, but they both have corkscrews, but at different places. So it looks like you're going to get a different experience on both tracks. So I'm really, really excited about this one. Yes, Alec, the Aqua is very tempting. This is an Eastern Caribbean itinerary. We always try to do Eastern Caribbean with our groups because we're not the most fond of the Western Caribbean. I mean, Western Caribbean's fine. Now, when we do...
I like it.
Yeah. When we do Margaritaville at Sea, it is going to be a Western Caribbean because that's where they're coming out of. They're coming out of Tampa, but they're also going to Key West, which is going to be awesome. But yes, it is very tempting, and it is the Prima Plus class. Now, this ship is actually launching in April of 2025, or maybe March. It might slide back. So we're going to be one of the first people on the ship, May 31st. And of course, if you just saw the previous cruise that I just did, that cruise starts on June 26th. This one ends on June 7th. So it's going to be like a 2-week window. So if you want to be like us, book them both and have two really cool experiences, go on this and just go out and have a good time in the Eastern Caribbean and then go up and have that bucket list cruise up in Alaska.
I can't say as we'd be doing this if this one wasn't out of Port Canaveral.
Yeah, or just out of Florida. I mean, I got to say that Bright Line train really changes things. But Port Canaveral is just under 1 hour from our house. So it is very lovely to go on that one. And
it's not staying in Port Canaveral. I can't remember how long. I think it's moving to Miami.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to Miami. It may go to Galveston at some point too. So
I thought one of the other ones was whatever was in Miami is going to Galveston. I thought.
I can't keep up. So many ships are moving around so much. It's absolutely crazy. And I honestly can't keep up. Like I'll go to look for like the Wonder of the Seas. I'm like, oh, wait, it's not in Port Canaveral anymore. Now it's over here. Where did it go? So yeah, they're moving ships around a lot of late. And even I'm having a hard time just keeping up with everything. Greg. Are we going to do DJ's Clam Shack in Key West? Going to give it a try next week since we recommend it. We're not going to Key West. Can you believe that? The inaugural cruise of the Margaritaville Islander does not go to Key West. Even I thought that was kind of odd. They offered, we're booked on the inaugural, and they reached out and said, hey, if you really want to go to Key West, you can come back on the 18th and go sail on that one because that's going to be a 5-night that goes to Key West. But since we're going on the preview, it is only an hour and a half to get to Tampa. But since we're going on that preview from the 11th to the 13th, just a lot easier to get a hotel in Tampa, just stay overnight and get right back on the ship the next day. So yes, I will be going to DJs when we go to Key West. It just won't be on this particular cruise. So yes, you absolutely go. Anybody who is watching this right now, if you are going to Key West on a cruise, pay attention because Rebecca found this, and this place is amazing. You're going to get off the ship and you walk just a little bit, and then you're going to be on Duval Street. So Duval Street is the main drag in Key West. Just start walking for about, depending on how fast or slow you walk, it's going to be between 10 and 20 minutes. It will be on your left. It's called DJ's Clam Shack, and I do mean it is a shack. It's just this little, you can walk right past it very easily. It is just this little shack on your left. You get the lobster roll. We did not do the double stuffed roll. There really wasn't any reason for it because it was pretty doggone big. And then I got the basket of clams. If you are of a certain age like I am and you remember Howard Johnson's and going to Howard Johnson's, this brings back that nostalgia, but much better, even better. But it just really brings back, and it was so fun because when you're sitting there, you're literally sitting right on the sidewalk. Like people are just like their heads are just going right by you. And this gentleman came by, and I think he smelled the clams. He's like, "Are those fried clams?" I was like, "Yes." And we both said it at the same time. It's like Howard Johnson. So I lifted the basket. I'm like, "Here, try it. And he was like, "Oh my God, Howard Johnson's so good." It was so fun.
Very trusting to take clams from a stranger.
I know. Well, I didn't make them.
I know, but still.
DJ's made them. But hey, he could tell I was New York. He sounded like he was New York. So, it was all good. But it was so much fun just sitting there because you are literally sitting right. There are maybe 12 seats in the whole place. That's it outside. But what a place, I'm telling you. And then there were like 3 different places that all have a sign that say that they created the key lime pie. We were so stuffed, we never had a chance to go back.
That
but
was
I did
kind of a bummer.
one. Next time. We're going to try one next time.
Well, if you'd have just shared a lobster roll with me and not gotten the clams, we could have done it.
I got to get the clams. The clams is so
And we're
good.
never going to have the key lime pie.
And it's a big thing of clams too.
With
Well,
fries,
we got to
with
bring
a
somebody
lot
with
of
us. Like we got to
fries,
have
too.
Stephanie come with us, maybe Eric come with us, Alex. We'll get Michael, we'll get Rick, we'll get Betty, we'll get everybody to come with us. So it's just a little bit of clams for everybody, and then we'll go get the key lime pie. But I can guarantee you we are going to have I can't guarantee you yet because we haven't been on the ship, but we're already in discussions with Margaritaville to have a group cruise on there, and it will have Key West in it. We're not going to do a group cruise on Margaritaville and not have Key West in it. I've had a poll going on my Facebook page. If you're not in our private Facebook page, I encourage you to, our private Facebook group, encourage you to come join. I actually posted the question, would you rather sail at Thanksgiving, this coming Thanksgiving, or would you rather go around Valentine's Day? They're 5-night cruises, and they're both going to Key West. And I think right now the Valentine's of 25 is winning. So that might be the time that we set it up, but I can all but guarantee that, yes, Michael is absolutely correct. We'll fill up the 12 seats ourselves. We'll just show up and take the whole place over. Guy Fieri was there. It was on his diners, dives, and drive-ins. Absolutely worth it. It's so good. So yeah, if you're going to Key West, go there. And yes, we will have a Margaritaville. I would say I'm 90% certain we're going to have this. We're going to have 2 different balconies. It's going to be fun on the Islanders. So during the preview, they put us in what they're calling a breezy balcony. They've come up with some really fun names for these things. And then the second one, we're on an
extended balcony.
We're on an extended balcony, which didn't, according to the deck plans, did not look very extended, but whatever. We're going to be in 2 different balconies. So we'll see what that's all about. And I'm sure they're going to have the ship opened up so we can go see. I'm so confident in this ship. I already have people booked on it. So yeah, I've already booked people on Margaritaville at sea. Now the booking engine's terrible. They've got to work on it. They know they got to work on it, but I'm already booking people on it. I'm so excited for the ship. One of my friends, Brian at DCL Duo, he was in Fort Lauderdale today, sailing out on the Disney Magic. They're going to Lighthouse Point tomorrow. And he said the ship was there. He said the ship looked great. He said the ship was in Fort Lauderdale. They're picking up their crew. It's going to make it very interesting next week. They're just picking up their crew right now, and they're going to launch the ship next week. So we know it's not going to be a perfect experience. They're all going to be figuring things out. Things will go wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. I just want to see the ship. I want to see the potential of this ship. I think it's going to be amazing. So, okay. And then I've got a third Valentine's Day, Sherry. Yeah. Yeah, I think right now that is the winning poll question. So while we're on the ship, the whole sales department is going to be there. The group department is going to be there, at least for the preview. Jimmy Buffett's daughter is going to be there. She is the godmother of the ship. I really hope that we get an opportunity to run into her somewhere. But that's really cool. His daughter will be the godmother of this ship. I think, I'm really impressed that the company had just taken the reins of the whole thing. They've admitted the mistakes from the first launch, and they're trying to fix it all. So I'm really excited for this second launch. Now, this third group, basically, we're on a last call right now with the Sun Princess Group cruise because final payment is like July 21st or July 17th or something like that. As we get close, and we're getting close, right? It's around a month. So at any time now, Princess can go, okay, your group is closed. We're taking all your cabins back. You can't book any more cabins under the group rate. Now, we haven't really been booking cabins under the group rate because, quite honestly, some of the sales that they've been having are better than our group rate. But we can put you in the group, which then gives you $100 onboard credit. But whenever they say done, we can't add anybody to the group anymore, and that $100 onboard credit goes away.
Well, plus they're just running out of cabins.
Yeah. Oh, they're just flat out running out of cabins. Yeah. There's a lot of cabins that are gone. So, and we didn't realize it when we set up this group. This is only the second sailing of the Sun Princess in the United States. She will have come over from Europe. The week before will be the first cruise, and there's going to be like a lot of media, a lot of press on it.
I think that one's only a 5-day.
What's that?
I think that's only a 5-day.
It might only be a 5-day. And this is the first 7-night cruise in the U.S. And this is also when the Sanctuary takes over. Now, if you've cruised on Princess, on any other cruise ship with Princess, you know that they have this area called the Sanctuary. And there's the running of the Sanctuary on embarkation day, where anybody who wants to book the Sanctuary, you need to run to get up there to book the Sanctuary because you can't do it in advance. You can only do it when you're on the ship. Well, now that's going away for the Sun and the Star, and I fully expect it to start to roll out onto the other ships that they go into dry dock. It's their answer to the Retreat on Celebrity. So that solarium space is now going to be exclusive for the Sanctuary collection, which will be the suites. And there's one level of what used to be the reserve mini suite.
Two.
They will also.
2 levels of mini suite and 1 level of balcony that are going to be Sanctuary collection.
There you go. So only those people can use the Sanctuary now. We can't run to go get our space.
Kind of makes me sad.
It does, because we were actually kind of looking forward to it because it looked absolutely gorgeous up there.
Well, it looked not enough shade, but I was actually thinking of doing a cabana, but
well, you're not now. So I guess we're going to go up to the dome pool instead. But yeah, so now there's that Sanctuary level, and that actually starts when she hits the United States. Right now over in Europe, they're still doing the Sanctuary the same way, all through the European season. But the moment she lands here, in fact, I think it's with this cruise, it's either this cruise or the one before it, the Sanctuary takes over. So yeah, this last call, Rebecca, what do you think? We got just plus or minus 40 going on this cruise, right? Like somewhere.
I think it's like 35-ish.
Yeah, 35-ish of us all going on this cruise. So it's going to be a really fun group. And a bunch of us do have Spellbound booked already. Now, unfortunately, I think Spellbound's already sold out.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe after final payment, some more either people have canceled out or
we'll find out.
Or they open up some more bookings.
Oh, Betty loves clams and key lime. I know, right? So Betty, you need to make sure that when we set up this Margaritaville Key West cruise, you got to come with us. I think if this is like half as good as I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really, really fun cruise. But the Sun Princess, so this is the very first of the sphere class, as they call it. And of course, she's got that sphere in the center. She's got the dome up on the top. We very purposely did not book a group in Europe on this cruise because we knew a new ship, first of its kind, it's going to have some problems when it launched. We didn't expect it to launch the way it did. I mean, they really did kind of botch the launch of this, and that has now forced them to push back the Star because they don't want to repeat that when the Sun comes out. Princess has admitted we shouldn't have launched the ship. It wasn't ready because so much of the entertainment wasn't ready. And some of the, I don't even think they're doing all 4 shows yet.
I think they were supposed to just this week open the Park 19, the, kind of, and the kiddie
Gotcha.
sort of family area. I think that was just opening this week.
Wow.
And
So
I don't
this is
even know
June.
if the cycle thing is opening. That was apparently still having issues.
Gotcha. Oh, the roller glider thing?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Then Rick's giving us a countdown. 176 to the Sun Princess. So we are literally on a last call with this. At any time, Princess can say your group is done. So if you want to take advantage of the $100 of onboard credit, maybe our prices will finally beat what Princess is offering, because as the ship fills up, the pricing starts going up, and our prices were locked, I don't know, 8 months ago, whenever it was. We set this one up a long time ago. But yeah, if you want to come, Betty, you'd need to do a side-by-side due to airfare. I don't know if you're talking about Margaritaville. Margaritaville is going to be launching 7-night cruises as well. So you never know. We might do the February one and then do another one. Or, Celebrity will be sailing out of Tampa, I believe, in February. I think they sail out of there till
I think they do
March.
in the winter before they send that ship over to
so
Europe.
they'll have like the Constellation. In fact, it is the Constellation because Rick's going on it. Rick is so cool. So Betty, it won't be 4 days. It'll be at least 5, maybe a 6 day. I can't remember exactly what that sailing was in there, but Rick, I love this. So Rick is right here. He's so excited about Sun Princess. He served on the USS Constellation. So thank you very much for your service, Mr. Rick. But he said he thought it would be a lot of fun to go on the Celebrity Constellation cruise ship of the same name. And he's doing it. He's going to be going out on the Celebrity Constellation. And Rick, I hope you get another one of those bridge tours. If you have served your country in the Navy, especially in the Navy, they don't always say yes, but you can go up to guest services and request a bridge tour. And in Rick's case, Captain Kate granted the bridge tour. So Rick got a chance to go up there and meet Captain Kate, see the bridge and all of that. That's just so phenomenal, Rick. I'm so happy for you. And I'm so thankful that we're your travel partner. Thank you so much for allowing us to do that. And thank you for telling us that story. It's just so awesome. So those are the 3 big group cruises that we have going on. If you're just tuning in, we've got the Oceania Riviera going June 26th through July 8th. That's going to be an Alaska cruise. Our prices, if you were to guess, about $1,000 off the public price, you could be right. Plus, we've got $1,200 of bonus amenities on top of what Oceania already gives you. This is the itinerary. It's going to be 12 nights, up to 13, 14-hour stops. It's going to be absolutely freaking amazing. And then we've got the Norwegian Aqua, sailing May 31st through June 7th. That's going to be a 7-night Eastern Caribbean. Again, if you were to guess, because I can't say exactly, but if you were to guess, 1,000-ish or more off our balcony prices, we have 5 physical cabins left. That's it until Norwegian pulls us. But we have either 3 balconies and 2 interiors, or 3 interiors and 2 balconies. That's all we have left. That's it. Once those are gone, they're gone. And then it's just a public pricing, which is a lot higher than our group prices right now. So if you want to try out the Norwegian Aqua, this would be a good time to do it. And then, Eric wants you to come along. Eric's on that one. He wants you to come along and join us for that one. I love it. And then last but not least, these are the ones that we know right now. Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th. This will close soon. It's literally like an any day thing. At any day, I could get the email from Princess saying, boom, your group is done. You're closed. So if you want to come with us on this one, we can still book you on the ship. And you can still hang out with us in the group for sure. It's just that $100 bonus onboard credit will go away once they shut that down. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, what about you? What if you want to create a group? What is it about setting up a group, and how do you go about it? So groups, for the most part, on the cruise line, depending on the cruise lines you're going on, it's either going to be 5 cabins, 10 people, or 10 cabins, 20 people. Or 8. It's usually like 5, 8, or 10 cabins. and either 10, 16, or 20 people. That's usually what it takes to put together a group. And the group is double occupancy. Okay. If you have 4 people in a cabin, they don't necessarily count that as 4 people. They count it as one cabin with 2 people. So you've got to still, get more cabins. It's all done by double occupancy. That's how they do it. So when you do this, like with Norwegian, if you're looking to save money, Norwegian is probably the best one at that, because if you set up is it just 400 days, or was it more than 400 days?
It was more than, I think it was somewhere between 405 and 410, I believe.
Because it couldn't be 400. It had to be 405 or 410. Of course, let's make it hard for them. But if you set up your Norwegian group, let's just say it's 410 days out, you get 15% off. And you can pick as many cabins as you want within the categories that they're going to allow you to have. So whatever the price is today, your price is immediately 15% off of that. And then, and that holds for 60 days. Then after 60 days, if you put down some $50 deposit, you can hold on to those cabins just like we did. And those cabins are still locked. And now the public price is going up and your price is just staying right there. So Norwegian's a great one for saving money, because you can get that 15% off. And then there's another level where you can get 10% off.
Well, there's even a 5% off level.
There's even a 5% off. Now, most of the other cruise lines don't really give money off. I mean, Princess and Holland say that they have group rates. A lot of times, like their public fares are actually lower, like whatever promotion they're running is lower. But what's nice about putting a group together is you can get onboard amenities, which is nice. They're called GAP points, group amenity points. And depending on how many points you get, we can add some extra onboard credit. We can add gifts to the cabin. We can do a cocktail party. On Holland America, they do a dinner. You can go to the, what's it called, the Pinnacle Grill. I can send the whole group to the Pinnacle Grill for a steakhouse dinner. So what's really nice about that, it's just, bringing people together and then using the power, quote unquote, of the group to get some extra perks. They're not always the biggest perks in the world, but it's still a little something. And the hardest part about working on a group is if you're trying to do it yourself, right? You've got everybody calling you, just even doing 3 cabins. I mean, we were working 3 cabins before we became a travel agent. And even that was just like, okay, wait a minute. Now we got to get that person coordinated with this person, with that person. We take all that off of you. You just send everybody else. We take care of all of that. Another, and some of the things that you might look at. So obviously family reunions, weddings, gatherings like that, family gathering, those are pretty obvious. But then
church groups.
Yeah, then you start looking church groups, knitting group, bicycling, like cyclists, cyclist groups, scuba divers, snorkelers, pickleball. We can put together a huge pickleball tournament on some of these cruises as well. So just like-minded people, like I think that a group cruise would be a great spot for these fantasy football drafts. These guys all have these fantasy football drafts, right? And they go to some bar or they go to a beach resort or whatever. Why not go on like the Utopia of the Seas for 4 nights or 3 nights and do it on there and get a whole bunch of people and put together a whole big fantasy draft? I think that would be a lot of fun. Eric is mentioning that he booked on the Norwegian Aqua group in a solo, and you got that 15% off, right? And I can tell you right now, it's more than 15% off now, because it was 15% off the price when we booked it, when we grabbed those cabins. And our price just kind of stays the same as Norwegian keeps going up, 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 up. So now the other thing to think about, if you work for a company, a corporation or any kind of a company, and you want a company retreat, you want to do a training session, you want to do an incentive trip to incentivize people. Well, a lot of people don't realize on cruise ship, meeting spaces are usually included with the cruise fare. Like there's no extra charge to get the meeting room. And if there's AV equipment in that room, there's usually no extra charge to use that AV equipment. So if any of you have ever put together a corporate event for your group, even if you're just in town and you're going to the hotel down the street and you're going to rent the ballroom, you got to pay for the ballroom. You got to pay for the AV. You got to pay for the setup and tear down. You're going to have to get some catering going on, right? And all of those costs. But when you go on a cruise, the food's included, right? All the drinks in the buffet are included. You can choose to add or not add the drinks packages, food packages, Wi-Fi, all of that. Depending on the cruise line, more things will be included or not. But when it comes to those meeting spaces and it comes to the venues, very often you can get those at no charge, depending on what the venues are. You can even get the main theater. Now, if you're going to go do the main theater, there's going to be costs involved in doing the main theater. But you can get certainly the meeting spaces. And we can have meetings for as little as 10 people all the way up to, 2,000. Really, we could charter a ship if you wanted to. Or you can look at river cruises, right? Let's say you want to do an incentive trip for 100 people. Or you just want to go out and do a corporate retreat and you've got about 75 or 100 people. That's a river ship. River ship is 100, 150 people. So we could literally charter a river ship and you could have the most lovely, most amazing meeting you've ever had as you're going down the rivers of Europe, right? So you can always think about that. And this is something that's really surprised some people because they just assume that, well, first I got to get everybody on the ship. Then I got to pay for the meeting space. Then I've got to pay for their food. And there's no food to take care of, right? Because you've got the buffet, you got the main dining room, you've got things included. If they want to pay for other things, fine. And you've got, whatever soft drinks or tea or water is included with the cruise fare. If you go on Virgin Voyages, almost everything's included anyway. So there's a lot of inclusion where it ends up being cheaper. And depending on the cruise line you go on, you could invite them to bring their friends on board or bring their family on board. And so then the family is just off, enjoying the pool and enjoying all this other stuff while, you're in your training for the day. Question for the group. Where would you want to cruise next as a group? Your vote is either the Lesser Antilles or Hawaii. Interesting. You should bring up Hawaii. Rebecca was just looking at Hawaii. It's one of the cruises that we want to do. She's looking at which one were you looking at from where?
I was looking at a kind of longer round trip one from LA. So we could also tie in a Disneyland trip.
Yeah. So wouldn't that be fun? We do a group cruise to Hawaii from California that also includes Disneyland, the OG. I've never been to Disneyland. I think that would be absolutely
I've been,
amazing.
but not since the mid 80s.
Yeah. So the Lesser Antilles, we actually did that last year. So we did the Oceana Serena. So we basically went down there. Plus we did the Eastern Antilles with the Valiant Lady. Is that Thunder again? Oh, wow. So we got Thunder coming back again. Greg is voting. Oh, so Betty Sims is saying we got to get to Europe. Okay. So yes,
that's on the list.
That's on the list. In fact, if y'all want to do this with us when we figure it out, we're going to do the QM2 from New York.
We haven't decided.
We're going to do the QM2 from New York to Europe. It has been decided because it's cheaper than flying. It's actually cheaper than flying, to be honest with you. We have seen the Queen Mary 2 as low as, $1,500 or less for two people in and inside. And just to get over to Europe, who cares? Yeah, it's getting boomy again over here. Greg says the Panama Canal full transit. Jen likes that one. I love this because we met Jen on a Panama Canal, although it was not a full transit, but Jen was also on the excursion with us. Folks, if you're doing a partial transit of the Panama Canal, you're going to go into Gatun Lake and your ship's going to turn around. You got to do what Jen, Rebecca, and I all did, which was an excursion on a small boat that held about, I would guess, around 200 people. It was blazing hot out that particular day. But what was so cool is we went through the Gatun locks on the Island Princess. So we're on an actual cruise ship going through, and you get that perspective. Then you get on this little boat, and you're going through the Panama Canal, and the walls of the canal are like 10, 15 feet over your head. And we went all the way to the Pacific. We went underneath, I think it's the Bridge of the Americas. We went underneath the Bridge of the Americas, and then the bus brought us all the way back to the Island Princess. So if you're not going to do a full transit, at least take the boat all the way through for a full transit. It's really, really cool. Becky is liking the idea of Hawaii. I like it. Alex is liking Hawaii. Becky says Kauai has a rum safari. Rebecca, I think we're done. That is our next group cruise.
Well,
you said rum.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, do you remember which cruise line you were looking at?
Well, not everybody has. I was looking at winter of 2026, and not everyone has it out. I was looking at Princess originally.
Oh, we got another vote for Hawaii. I think Hawaii is going to be a group cruise.
But
so you're looking at the spring of 26 or the winter of 26?
February, March 26.
So February, March 26, folks.
Somewhere in that
kind
neighborhood.
of pencil that in. That might happen February, March of 26. Group cruise to Hawaii from, what'd you say, LA?
LA. Yeah,
From LA.
I mean, I know like Holland does it from San Diego. But I want to
classy.
Yeah, but I want to tie it in with Disneyland.
With Disney, right? So yeah, so we got to tie it in with Disney. So folks, we're going to do. Oh, look at Eric. Eric says he's available. That's it. Okay, folks, we're going to set up. I think Rebecca. I think it's been decided that
I got to wait for some more cruise lines to get their schedules out so I can decide.
But it sounds like February, March, Hawaii is happening. Rebecca just needs to figure it out. Y'all better come through now when we set this up.
I have to say, when I was looking at the Princess, and as much as I love Princess, Viking didn't have their 26 out yet. They had the 2025, and the prices were very similar to Princess.
Did you hear that, people? Viking. She's looking at Viking.
Other than the fact that Princess has interiors and ocean views and Viking doesn't. But if you start at the balcony category, the pricing was really not that much different.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, Viking is all balconies. I think their lowest balcony is actually like a French balcony, but it's still a balcony. Alex is asking, does Disney have any shipped out west? Yeah, because they go to Alaska. It's the Wonder. The Wonder goes up to Alaska. I don't know if anybody else comes over, but I know that the Wonder goes up to Alaska.
Because the Wonder does that, and I think in the summer the other small ship goes over to Europe.
Yeah. They got the Wonder and the Magic. So the Wonder goes up to Alaska usually. Greg, yes, I know what you're talking about here. Greg says Princess has a European capitals cruise. That sounds very interesting. It actually is. It's a very cool cruise. The other one too, we just booked a couple on this one, is that American History Cruise Tour that they're doing here, where they're doing a 7-day land tour that basically starts in Washington, D.C., and then it ends up in New York City, and then you pick up the Enchanted Princess and you do a 7-night Canada New England cruise. So it's a 14-night land cruise tour, which looks absolutely fabulous. But this European capital cruise that Greg is talking about is a really good. Princess has some really good looking European itineraries over there. If you really want to get like into some what they call intensive cruises, like you're just going to hit all of Greece, you're just going to hit all of Italy, you look at Azamara. Azamara has, they call them intensive cruises. And so like the Greek cruise, it's like 14 or 17 nights with like 12 stops in Greece, which is really, really cool. But Princess, I think, has something like well over 200 itineraries in Europe. I mean, they got a lot of itineraries over in Europe, and the whole 26th season is open right now. If anybody wants to book over there, definitely want to, like Betty is saying, Europe for spring or summer 26. We definitely need to get over to Europe. I want to do some river cruising. I also want to do one of Raro's tours. We had Raro on a couple weeks ago. They are adult only, small group land tours, all inclusive. So I definitely want to get on one of those tours sooner. In fact, I'd like to do it next year if I can. I'd love to do it this year if we can get over there. We almost went over right at the same time that Margaritaville is happening. So it was like Italy, Margaritaville. And I'll be honest, of course, Italy would have been like, oh my God, let's go to Italy. But Margaritaville had already been in talks with us for about 2 months, and I didn't feel right just bailing on them. So we're going to go over to, and I cannot wait to see that ship. So yeah, Europe is coming up. I would love to do Antarctica as a group, maybe. There's like so many things that I would love to do as a group. And we are looking at land tour groups too, because like Colette has amazing tours. Raro has amazing tours. I just heard from a colleague of mine that did the Colette tour in Alaska. So Colette has a 7-day land tour that they marry up with Holland America. Although you can do the land tour independently and then go off and do pretty much any cruise line you want. But Colette even has a 7-day tour. Yeah, Jen, I think we all need a few years to save up for that one, Antarctica. Yeah, we definitely need a few years to save up for that one. If you've not seen it yet, I encourage you to go see Gary Bembridge's tour of Antarctica. He did a great job. We just booked some folks, and I was actually surprised at how reasonable it was. We booked some folks on the Celebrity Flora down in Galapagos. And the Celebrity Flora is a very interesting ship. They basically put the retreat on that ship. Like the base cabin is the Sky Suite. That's the base cabin on that ship. And the pricing was actually, you know, for a Galapagos cruise, for the amount of time they were going to be there, it's actually very reasonable. So you may never know. Alex says Antarctica is cold. Well, you know, we're going to Alaska next year, so it's going to be cold first.
We're going in the summer, though.
Yeah, but you saw the pictures of Cheryl last week. She was all bundled up. So, yeah, they're probably, well, you never know. There might be some flip-flops out there. You know, people get weird when it gets super cold. But yeah, Antarctica is another one of those bucket lists for me that I really want to do. You know, if you guys have ideas for groups, you don't necessarily need us to go. I know a lot of people want to cruise with us, but if you have ideas, you know, we have put together weddings. We have the first of 3 or 4 weddings going out this coming weekend. We've had church groups come to us. We booked church groups.
Birthdays.
Yeah, we've got birthdays that have gone out on groups.
Particularly big milestone birthdays.
Yeah, milestone birthdays. And, you know, we've had some vloggers come to us. So, I mean, if you have an idea and you've got like a little, you know, ecosystem of people who would like to go travel together, just reach out. We can put together a group on a cruise ship, a cruise line that works for you. We even had a horror film group. Oh my gosh. The Gruesome Magazine or whatever. They were such a cool group of people, went out on one of the Royal Caribbean ships. So, you know, it can be anything you want. And you may know a whole group of people in your area. You might go to church with folks. You might have shopping groups, knitting groups, cycling groups, all of this stuff. Like cycling, you know, a river cruise, there are cycling excursions where you get off the ship and the ship goes on to the next port and you just meet up with it but you go do this whole long cycling excursion and you just meet up with the ship later on in the day somewhere else. So there's things like that out there too. So definitely, I want to get in with robotics. I really want to get in with like STEM robotics. I've got some ideas because, you know, all those really cool high school robotic, you know, championships and robotic competitions they have. If anybody's connected to one of those, get them in touch with me because I've got an interesting idea to do like one of those big robotics, like do an invitational at sea. That would be amazing. And I've got the ships ready for it. So Betty says to join you in Norway. Betty, when are you going again? I know we booked you, but I don't have it in my roll. I think it's next year, right? You're going to Norway next year, I think. Hey, Aaron, how are you? And Aaron's getting ready to come on for that big group cruise next week. That should be a lot of fun. But Betty, what is it? You're coming in 2025, I think, to Norway. So yeah, that I do want to go to Norway. I would still probably, you know, if we could do it, I'd love to do it on Hurtigruten. You know, I really want to do it on like one of those ships. So the one I really want to do over there, though, is that Northern Lights. They have a 17-day Chase the Northern Lights, which is land, sea. You get to do the Igloo Hotel. You get to do the dog sled. You go to Santa's Village. Santa, we know him. And then you get to do the ship. And, of course, you got all the Northern Lights. So August of 25. I don't know, Rebecca. I don't think August of 25 is going to work because we've got the Alaska cruise in June. Well, maybe. You never know. You never know.
It might be a little much.
It might be, but we'll see. You never know, Betty. We'll try. We'll definitely try. You know, we're so thankful to everybody that you've been coming along on this journey. We had our best month ever in May, which was insane. And this year has just so far up to now, this year has just been absolutely amazing. Y'all have been so kind to us and so supportive of us that we really do appreciate all of your support. And we're so thankful to be your travel partner. I love it when we've gotten so many referrals in the past couple of weeks. It really makes us feel so good when you guys trust us enough to go ahead and refer us to other people. Gary Bembridge has invited us to come on his show. Well, I say us, it's going to be me. It won't be Rebecca. But Tips for Travelers, Gary Bembridge, one of the largest YouTube channels out there. He invited us to come on June 30th.
The largest cruise YouTube channels.
Yeah, one of the largest cruise YouTube channels out there. So June 30th, we'll be live during the day, doing our normal TikTok, YouTube thing on a Sunday morning. And then at 12 Eastern time, I'm going to hop right over to his show. So that should be a lot of fun. So that's our discussion about groups, folks. If you got any last minute questions, I'll go ahead and try to take them. But, I encourage you guys to start thinking about, maybe some family reunions, maybe some events coming up, some milestone birthdays. And then if you're
anniversaries.
I mean, you don't even really need a reason other than to just get together and go cruise together. And if you own a business or, you work for somebody's businesses where you have retreats or events or training or whatnot, where you all go out and do it, think about a cruise ship. Cruise ships are absolutely phenomenal for those things. So I'm going to wrap. I'm going to show you one more time, folks, for those who came in a little bit late. We have Oceania. We're going out on the Oceania Riviera, June 26th through July 8th, 2025. It's going to be 12 nights in Alaska. We have 3 cabin categories that are, if I can't say, but if you were to guess, around $1,000 off the published prices. You might be right. Plus, you're going to get $1,200 in bonus amenities. And that's going to be 12 nights in Alaska. Here is the itinerary. You're going to have like up to 13, 14 hours in a lot of these ports. That's really cool, including 12 hours in Victoria to go see Victoria. Yes, Aaron, you're asking, are there still rooms? So here's the deal. We do still have rooms. However, the longer we go into Alaska season, I was just talking to my rep today, Guillaume. He was warning me that the further we go into Alaska season, Oceania may recall my cabin. So right now, as you see in this graphic on the screen, I have 3 cabin categories that are, I can't say, but if you were to guess, around $1,000 off the published price. I have 2 balcony categories, and I have 1 concierge category. Plus, you get prepaid gratuities and a drinks package upgrade, which are about $1,200. So you're going to get around, let's just guess, around $1,000 off plus $1,200 in amenities. You're getting $2,200 in savings around if you book one of our group categories. Now, we can book you in any category on the ship. But until Oceania recalls those cabins, we still have them. They could be recalled as early as, say August. So we have them now, but we don't know how much longer. And then the same thing, like the Sun Princess, we are literally in last call right now because any day Princess could cut off the group and say, that's it, your group is done. You can't put anybody else in the group. You can still book people on the ship. The ship is filling up. It's going to be a phenomenal cruise. I cannot wait to get on this. October 19th through 26th, Eastern Caribbean, 3 sea days. We go to St. Thomas. We go to San Juan, and we go to Princess Key. San Juan is a 14-hour port stop. And then we have those 3 sea days to really explore the entire ship. And last but not least, the Norwegian Aqua sailing May 31st through June 7th. Again, if you were to guess 1,000 plus off of our balconies, you might be right. We have 5 cabins. That's it, just 5 cabins. We either have 2 interiors and 3 balconies left, or 3 and what did I just say? I don't know. We have 3 and 2. We either have 3 interiors or 2 interiors, and either 3 balconies or 2 balconies. I'm getting myself so confused. But we literally only have 5 cabins left. That's all that's left in our inventory. Once those 5 cabins are gone, we have to sell everything at the standard price, which will be significantly higher than what we have right now. So if you want to go on the Norwegian Aqua, you want to go on the Oceania Riviera to Alaska with us, now is the time to do it while we still have these ridiculous like 4-figure savings on both of those cruises. It is amazing. And then, of course, with Oceania, you have that $1,200 in amenities on top of the saving. It is absolutely amazing. So, Rick, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I hope that information was helpful, folks. If we can do anything to help you, as always, where's waltertravel.com. Our services are 100% free to you. We don't charge you a dime. We don't charge you a dime for research, for planning, for booking. We're with you from the moment you book all the way until you come home. And we do our best to bring you the most amazing vacation we can. So, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. We will be back Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time for our usual Cruise Chat Live. And then I know we have somebody coming on next Thursday. I can't remember who it is right now, but we will have a guest next Thursday night at 8 p.m. So, folks, if we can help you in any way, please do reach out. Where's waltertravel.com or click in the links down below. And there are links to all 3 of these group cruises down in the description below as well. Have an amazing night, everybody.